everyone, it's Jenny at JC Cards, and I have a slightly different type of video for you today. My daughter Ruby, who just recently turned 4, is going to be helping me out with our card making today. We're using stamps from the November 2019 Hedgehog Hollow subscription box, and she absolutely loved these stamps when they turned up at the house, so she just couldn't wait to get crafting.
A present, Santa, and a doll. And a Christmas tree. And a Christmas tree, and a reindeer, and in letters.
What does that say?
And a Santa glove.
What does it say? You're going to use all of them then?
Yeah. Oh, can we actually add 2 girls?
You want to add 2 girls?
No, 3 girls.
3 girls?
Yeah, because I like girls.
We're going to use the Misty? You know how to use this, right?
Yeah. I do remember how to do it.
One of my top tips for crafting with young kids is to get yourself a stamp positioning tool like a Misty. It really helps them to lay out the stamps exactly how they want them to be, and then if that impression isn't great first time, which often with kids it isn't, it lets them re-stamp it without messing up their card.
Use this.
Why?
It's waterproof, which means you can paint it.
Explain to your kids what those supplies are and what they're for. This could be a learning experience as well as a bit of fun. So I'm explaining to Ruby why we're using that specific type of ink, because we're going to be using some watercolours and we don't want it to smear everywhere after we start colouring it in, because no one's going to be happy if that happens. I also recommend keeping things fresh. So change up the colours. Normally you'd stamp it all in black. Well, let's use some other colours and let them choose.
He's going to wear their Father Christmas hat.
One of the reasons Ruby loved this stamp set particularly is because it let you build up your own scene. She could put a hat on top of the snowman, and later on you'll see that she created a scene with Father Christmas or Santa Claus visiting a couple of kids at their house. And depending how old your kids are, this might be still a time where they can't quite read yet, and it's a good way to teach them letters by using large sentiments.
It's upside down. That's upside down. Turn it around. C goes at the beginning. There you go.
See?
Yeah.
Since we made these cards, Ruby's remembered that Mary begins with M and Christmas begins with C, which I wouldn't have ever thought when I started making these cards with her, but it was an added bonus and a great learning experience.
Use a different colour. Green? Red? What do you want?
Purple.
Purple?
Pink. No, dark pink.
What about Hot Mama?
Alright.
Ruby stared at my collection of inks for so long I couldn't resist letting her use all my supplies, and it doesn't matter about the colour combinations. The point of this is for them to have fun and choose whatever they want.
All done? Great job. Hey, that looks good!
Well, the snowman needs a present, so I'm going to put it right here.
These scene building stamp sets are really good for letting kids run their imaginations wild. She had so many great ideas. Sometimes it was a little tough to keep them all on the same A2 size card panel, but really she was limited only by what was in the stamp set, what she could fit on the card, and her imagination, which is pretty limitless, and I was really impressed with how she came up with what she wanted on the cards.
Alright. This Santa Claus, do you want?
Yeah, first. And then the house,
what
and
colour are we
then the
coloring?
girls. But shouldn't Santa be giving out presents?
Yeah. Just don't get that one on your hands because it stains. Okay.
Because it looks like blood?
It's lipstick red.
Ah, Santa had blood! So what are we going to do the house in color?
It's up to you.
Pick
it up.
Yellow.
That won't show up very well.
What about green?
A greenhouse?
Yeah.
Alright.
This looks like Lila's house.
It does?
Yeah.
Just lie to your friend.
Yeah.
As you can probably tell, Ruby's quite a funny kid, and I had almost as much fun, I'm pretty sure, as she did making these cards.
And I also want a balloon. Blue.
Blue balloon?
Yeah.
It's like in Peppa Pig.
Yeah.
George's new balloon?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't have a dinosaur, but George had A dinosaur balloon.
I recommend doing all the stamping for however many cards you're going to make before you then move on to the colouring with whatever medium you're going to use. It just makes it easier. I'm often multitasking when I'm making my cards, so if you can set them away doing their colouring in, you can go get one of your other chores or whatever it is done while they do that. And maybe other folks in the household are getting in some much needed nap time.
Have Daddy gone to sleep?
Hey, that's pretty good.
Did Daddy go to sleep already?
Mm-hmm.
He did?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yep.
Ah!
Yeah.
My husband said he always watches my videos, so I'm leaving that one in just to check.
Now, you're going to do some watercolouring?
Mm-hmm.
And what have you got?
Paper.
Paper towel?
Yes.
What's that in your hand?
A water brush.
That's right. And what are these?
Paint.
What kind of paint?
Little paint.
Watercolour.
I'm letting Ruby use my Magello Mission Gold watercolours. I refill them from tubes, so I'm really not bothered if she messes up the colours at all because it's easy to fix. But also I think it's important to let kids play with your supplies. There are some supplies that are really pricey. I'm thinking maybe your Copics, things like that, which are harder to replace. But I think when it comes to watercolour paints particularly, why not let them use the good stuff? Because hopefully that means that they'll enjoy what they're doing, they'll develop that joy later on, and then they'll carry on doing it. And I can't see that as being anything but a good thing. Another tip I've got for a handy tool for kids when they're crafting is a water brush. It keeps things nice and not too messy because you don't have to run the risk of a spilled cup of water all over your craft desk or wherever it is that you're doing this card making. And a water brush really helps them to control what they do. So you'll see in that first card, Ruby was scooping the paint like she does with the paint in school. And on the second card, she started to realise that the water watered down the paint and she'd be able to see the image through the paint if she did it that way. So I think this card turned out much better just because she really started to learn what watercolour paint was compared to the kiddie paint that she uses in her school. Her technique on this one was to work her way around the palette. She was very confused by this palette at first. When she looked at the colours, some of them looked all the same. They all looked like a muddy brown colour. But when I pointed at the swatch on the other side of the palette, she realised that it was a rainbow, starting from dark and going to light. So she worked her way around the entire palette. She also took it upon herself to add some grass to ground the house and a sky for the balloon to float in, which was pretty cool to see, and I have to say I was pretty proud of this card. Ruby asked if we could finish off the cards with some glitter.
This is sticky tape.
Yes.
And it's got two sides to it, okay? You want it here, on the bottom? Where do you want it?
On the bottom.
Right on the bottom? So.
Hey, we could have made snow for that one.
Oopsie, not meant to do that. Okay, strip it up. Don't you use scissors, alright? Okay, so let me just flip this over. Peel this off like a sticker. Alright? Like this. Pull it. Alright, so that's really sticky now. Okay.
Thick.
Alright, we're going to use some of this. This is your favourite one?
Yes! Purple.
Look how sparkly it is, huh?
It is really purpley.
These are wow sparkles. Okay.
I can't do that?
You want this? Yes, you can. You got to be very gentle, okay? Very gentle.
Why?
Pour it over the sticky bit.
Okay.
Try and keep it in the coffee filter. Bit more. Bit more. Bit more. Good. Bit more. All right, you good? Stop. Stop. All right. Let me tap it. Tap, tap. All right. And we're gonna put it back in. See, you didn't make any mess. That's not like you. Always put the lid back on. Okay, now get your little finger, or your finger, this finger. The other hand. Let's do this one. All right, and rub it in as hard as you can. Keep rubbing. It's supposed to come off, okay? You're rubbing it into the glue. Keep rubbing all the way so it all goes shiny, like this. Okay. See? Then you want to brush off the extra bits? Clean up. All right.
Here's a quick close-up of Ruby's first card.
So here's what we're going to do. We've got this Heffy Doodle. We've got these hearts. And we've got the big, thick, sticky tape, okay? So what we're going to do, you'll like this, is die cut a piece of cardstock with these hearts. Stick that on here, like this. All right? Put these on here. And what we're going, we made sticky heart stickers. Okay. So put a bit of glue on it. You put it where you want. That's where you want it? Okay. Now we peel this way. This is called Clarabelle. It's really pretty sparkles. All right. Put it on your heart. That's it.
It's too much.
Yeah, but... What do you think?
Clear out the extra bits.
Clear out the extra bits. That's right. Hang on. Let's just... Oops, Mummy spilled it. Mummy's making a mess.
Yeah. You spilling purple, Mommy. My favorite part of making cards is adding the sparkles. I'm writing my name and making cards.
Are you going to make cards when you're grown up?
Yes, and I'm going to take Mommy's craft room.
Thanks so much for watching and joining me and Ruby today. I hope you have fun crafting, and if you have kids, be sure to get them involved. Here's a couple of other vids you might enjoy. Have an awesome day. Bye!